Oh, hello. I'd like to make a comment on the movie The Fountainhead, which I just watched. I I read some books by Ayn Rand, and also I saw Atlas Shrugged, both movies as they're made, which were controversial when they made a few years ago. Um, the Fountainhead is something my dad told me about, a movie that he and my mother watched years ago, and I was glad I was able finally to see it. Um, One thing I was thinking about as I watched this movie, there's a question that Chris Matthews asked on Hardball on MSNBC why people are starting to read Ayn Rand. Well, what I would recommend is that that question can be answered by looking at if you don't want to watch the full movie, which I think you should, watch the final scene of the movie as to the court trial, as to the issue of the creative person individualist versus the collective, the group that wants to make a collective or a collective society. I think part of the reason why people are rereading Ayn Rand is because since 2009, our society has become more collective and group oriented in thought, which wasn't supposed to be done with the attitude and campaign slogan of change, and especially after the 2012 election. No, prior to 2008 election, I felt that basically the individual was still important and the creative individual still benefited and was able to prosper from their work, and also in that basically the collective aspects, no matter what names they used, whether it's communism, the Chicago machine, the transplanted machine, to DC, the term machine is defined by John Cass of the Chicago Tribune, whose columns I read every day and subscribe to the Chicago Tribune. Well, what happens in seeing this movie, I think what happens, commentators will ask questions why people are reading Ayn Rand. They should have watched The Fountainhead because there are certain values that have been lost since the 2009 election and since the current administration in office. I hope things will get better, and I know they will, because the American people are creative and will not go into thinking as a collective mind. Everyone has the right to their own creativity, to think their own thoughts and to succeed from their own work and their own creativity. They are not a tool. They are an individual, and they have a right to be paid and be rewarded and benefited. Well, I think what happens, it would help if more commentators were to look at the 1949 movie The Fountainhead. As when I talked with about friends, they definitely said, yes, you have to see this, and I'm glad I did. Thank you.